Okay, as you can see, this is what your base amount of space is. It comes with a 1 terabyte internal hard drive, right? It's an SSD, super fast. An additional in, external version of this hard drive comes at about 219 bucks right now. So it's pretty expensive. Obviously, that's half the price of the console almost. So that leaves you about 800 gigs of hard drive space, right? So that means you're either going to want to buy that external SSD or hook up a normal external HDD drive, which I would recommend the Western Digital Black right here. Get a P10 drive. It's a very good way, assuming you don't want to spend big money on an SSD. You get a good 5 terabytes for. You can get the 4 terabyte one for about 90 bucks, so that's a good way to go. I don't know how high the Xbox supports because they used to only support up to I think the 4. So if you got here, I had an external 2 terabyte drive that had basically after it's formatted comes with 1.8 terabytes, right? So I have 1.1 free of that space. So I've used 39% of it. The basically boot up takes away the operating system on the Xbox is going to use your 200 gigabytes of space, right? So that's being reserved for future updates and everything. You're not actually using it now. It's just what the console needs the future update. Okay, so if you look here, these are all games I had on my Xbox One, right? So this I had all these games pre-installed on my external hard drive on my Xbox One with Kinect, the 7-year-old console. I was using you could play them right off the external drive. You can still do that on the Xbox Series X. The issue is if you really want to experience everything that the Xbox Series X offers, like the faster load times, the enhanced graphics and stuff like that to these original old games. These are 360 games here. Then you would want to install them on that SSD, right? So you would transfer your games from the external drive into the console SSD built right inside the console. Then you would want that's how you would get the Battlefield 3 to play at the best settings, to get Battle Station Pacific, to get BioShock, BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite. So as you look through, I got the Black Ops. This is why I want to see there's Destiny 2 enhanced series. So this means it has super like this it's going to be extra special on the Series X. So Series X enhanced. These ones are just their most optimized version. Like this is the way the game was always meant to be seen, but back when you had it, the 360 or the Xbox One wouldn't play it that way. So as you go through the list, I already had all these games installed. So they're now automatically playable right now on my Xbox. I can just start playing them, but they would play the original version. So, see, we got Saints Row, we got all kinds. We got the Resident Evils. I mean, I got even the classic Battlefront. You got so many good games already ready to go. So, we're at a point now where we can start moving games to the Xbox. So that is our basic setup. So that's how you kind of want to come into these at an affordable rate. So for me, what I want to do is I want to try to set my online TV display. So this is what we're looking at. We know we got 4K res, so we want 4K. That's our purpose, right? This is a 4K monitor. We don't want 1440p, but it does have these options: 1440p, 1080p, 720p. That's obviously going to look great on an IPS monitor, but we want the 4K because that's what we're going for. So we want to go 4K 60. So we're locked in at 60. This isn't a TV, it's a monitor, but it's recognizing it as 60. Supports up to HDR10. So now we're at 4K UHD 60 hertz. your TV does not support a 4K UHD 120 Hz. Now, there are no monitors that have a 2.10 HDMI port in them right now. Monitors are set up for display ports, which is the best way to go with a PC. Give you the cleanest signal. There are no monitors that do that. So if you want 120 Hz at 4K, you're going to want to get a TV with an HDMI port of 2.1, and your cheapest option is the Sony X900. You can get it anywhere between $1,000 and $1,400. Usually, on average, the 55 inch is $1,000. The 65 inch is $1,400, but it was on sale on Black Friday for about $950. So if you wait for a sale, you can get them both under $1,000. But for about that's a lot, right? This monitor was $300, so it's a lot cheaper, and I'm still getting 4K 60. So that's what we want. So calibrate HDR for games, video modes. So allow 50, allow 4K HDR, auto HDR, which will help those older games auto HDR. So we can video fidelity and overscan. I don't see anything here I'm going to mess with. So we can calibrate TV. That's just like setting the color and whatnot. So calibrate HDR. This app shows a series of test patterns to determine the characteristics of your HDR TV. So you could do TV setup. These are just little ways to make sure you're getting the most out of your setup. So and I'm not really sure. Okay, so we're I think we're good. It looks solid. So now do you see the BenQ does come with the HDR button, so you can hit it right here. This is that'll help with the lighting in the room. I traditionally leave that off. It just adjusts based off the lighting in your room. So let's just, for the sake of the video, let's just load up a game, see if it'll launch right off the external drive. It should work, but it's not going to be the enhanced version of it working. So what do we have digitally? That does not need to be. Got NBA Jam. Boom. Okay, it loaded. Now that is not, I literally unplugged this external drive from my Xbox One, and I put it directly on, just plugged it into the USB port in the back of the console. It's clean. I have no wires here hooked up. I'm running off a wire. Damn it.